Hi, it's Jane, and I've finished the blanket. It's completed. I'll have to take a picture of it on the bed, but what I wound up doing is doing just a row of half double crochet all the way around the edges. And so yeah, that is completed. Just needs to be washed, tagged for sleep in heavenly peace, that kind of thing. I did have one other finished thing, however, it's kind of an oops, but I'm still going to claim it. It started out, it was a hedgehog, only I missed the snout part. I didn't do it correctly, but it's still going out there for somebody to love. Even mistakes can be made, can be loved. But yeah, that was rather interesting. I realized after I got the eyes on and when I was finishing up the tail end, I'd missed one row as well as didn't do the snout correctly. It's important to read the patterns, right? Otherwise, it just don't come out right. The only other thing that I have been doing is I know I've shown you this before, but I've basically just been doing some beading for the Operation Christmas Child. So that was the only thing. I did another couple of those because I had enough of that color to get it done. So that's kind of where I dropped off, finished at. I do have quite a few other projects on the way. With Prayer Shawl, we've started doing the hats again for the kids where they color the pattern that they want, the colors. And so I will be starting on those too as well as working on a few other things. I had gone to Dollar Tree and picked up, they had some bigger teddy bears in the Fuzzy Friends. So I picked up, I think, 4 of them, brought them home, and I had them in the bag. And immediately, Izzy was trying to steal them. So I had to put it away. They're put away for Operation Christmas Child for next year. So, telling you, if it's a stuffy, she thinks it's hers. I told you about her stealing the hacky sack. And it was her that was stealing it. And it was on the kitchen table. That's where she originally got it. But she kept stealing it every time she could grab it. She'd find it and grab it, and off she'd go with it. You know, she was determined that was going to be hers. But it was in a plastic bag, so, you know, I just changed out the plastic bag because it looked like she'd tried to chew it open at one point. She's a chewer too. So, yeah, that is all that I have done. I am looking forward to this week getting into some knitting, getting that started up again because I want to get my sweater finished. And like I said, I have a few things, you know, that I was wanting to make for Operation Christmas Child. And then while I was in there, I was in the other closet looking, and I found a, apparently that was a washcloth I made. Apparently I was doing something with this, and there's quite a few of them. There's a couple of the little, what do they call these? The little dollops in here, and they're cotton. And then I've got one other Crafter Secret cotton that is extra sprinkles. You can see that colorway. There you go. So I found this bag and I was like, okay, that's great. These can go over into the hacky sack box things. We did find that a lot of the kids were especially excited about tennis balls. They loved the hacky sacks, but they were disappointed there weren't more. Of course, I'd only made about 20. And hats. They loved putting hats in all the boxes, so thought that was rather interesting, putting hats in all the boxes. And like I said, tennis balls were a big hit. And so, we're looking for ways to get things done for next year so it's a little more organized. Of course, this was our first year, and I think we did pretty well. We had packed an additional 5 boxes in the back from some of the things, and some people brought in some other things. So apparently from their packing that their boxes were too full, so they brought in some of those leftovers. So we made up another 5 boxes. My partner took 2, Jerry took 2, I took 4 because I had stuff here that I could build some more boxes. So took 4. So we've got another 6 boxes. And we had our official count this morning was 487. And so I do know that there's 1 box that's coming in tomorrow. The gal, she had left everything that went in the box at home. So she will be bringing those things in tomorrow morning to put in her box. And then I have those 4 boxes, and then Jerry has 2. So we've got 7 more boxes. And I'm like, we need to be able to fill 6 more boxes so we can meet that goal of 500. Our goal was originally 400 for the year, but I kept trying to get Sarah to step out in faith of 500 boxes, and she wouldn't. And I've been praying all along that we would get 500 boxes. I'm going to find a way to make 500 boxes tomorrow. Let's just put it that way. Because I think we can do it. And I think other people, I do know a couple of other people said that they've forgotten to bring their boxes in. So they were going to bring those tomorrow. So I think we'll meet our 500. My goal. That wasn't Sarah's goal. That was my goal. But I think we can do it. I think she's going to be a little surprised and excited. So, and I've been telling everybody there at the church that I had prayed for 500. So if they had anything left over, they could bring it in tomorrow morning between 8 and 10. So we could fill another couple of boxes to make that 500. And I know quite a few people were talking about coming by, dropping some things off. So we'll see. Hopefully they will, and we'll meet that, the goal that I set. Sarah is the official coordinator, but I kept pestering her. Make it 5, make it 5. And I told the pastor, trying to get her to go out, take a step on in faith, 500. So that's what we're shooting for. At least that's what some of us have our goal tomorrow somehow. Some way to make 500 boxes. And I had found some ropes in the back that need to be braided. So I'm like, great, I can braid those. We'll have some more ropes that can go in boxes. So, yeah, that's kind of what's going on. All right. Are you ready for a little what in Tarnation? Okay. Hawk swoops toward chicken coop, gets caught in netting. A hungry hawk swooped toward a Connecticut homeowner's chicken coop and became stuck in the surrounding netting. The new Canaan Police Department said Animal Control Officer Sean Godejohn responded to a home where a hawk had gotten stuck in the netting around a chicken coop. It is common for animals to get tangled in netting. good, John said to Patch. I've pulled birds and other animals out of soccer netting and garden netting. Godin John said he was able to carefully lift the hawk by its leg, cut it free from the netting. He said the hawk was not injured and was safely released at the scene. If you have any soccer nets, I recommend you take them down when not in use. If you have fencing around your chicken coop that is netting-type material, I would suggest to use metal chicken wire instead. All right, Wisconsin 10-year-old calls 911 for help with math homework. I love when these kids do this. A Wisconsin sheriff's deputy came to the rescue of a 10-year-old who called 911 to ask for help for a math homework. Shawano County Sheriff's Office said on social media that a dispatcher answered a 911 call from a 10-year-old who called to say he needed help with his math homework. He stated his family wasn't very good at math either, and he needed help. Sheriff George Letzner said dispatcher Kim Krause explained to the young caller that 911 was not the appropriate number to call for homework help, but she also offered her assistance. She had some time, so she said, "Can I help you with the problem?" And well, he gave her this long problem with decimals, and she was unable to help him, so she informed him. "Well, let me see if I got a deputy near your residence," Linster told Good Morning America. Deputy Sheriff Chase Mason was in the area and agreed to take a look at the math problem. "Personally, I'm also not overly proficient when it comes to math, but nonetheless, I responded to assist," he said in his report about the incident. Mason, who has a stepson the same age as the caller, sat down with the child and was able to solve the decimal-related math problems. Our young caller was provided a business card and was told we are always here to help, except next time he should probably use the non-emergency line if it's not a life-threatening emergency. Notorious P.I.G. leads animal control officers on hoof chase in Washington. A porcine perpetrator dubbed Notorious P.I.G. led animal control officers on a chase through Tacoma, Washington neighborhood. The Tacoma Police Department said its animal control unit responded to the east side of the city when a small pig was seen running through a residential neighborhood. When they arrived, they quickly sized up the situation and sprang into action. The little oinker made them work for their bacon. But in the end, Notorious P.I.G. was safely captured and escorted off the streets, the department said on social media. The post included body camera footage of the chase, which figured the pig squealing loudly while attempting to hoof it away from the officers. The pig was not injured and was taken to the Rusty Bar Ranch in Roy. The female pig, now named Tori, joined another pig recently rounded up in the city of Auburn. The ranch said in a Facebook post that both pigs were sentenced to live out the rest of their lives as spoiled residents of Rusty Bar Ranch. How old do you think penguins grow to be? This pig is outlived what a lot of penguin has outlived what a lot of other penguins live. North America's oldest macaroni penguin turns 40. Normally they only live 15 to 16 years. The SeaWorld San Diego is celebrating the 40th birthday of the oldest known macaroni penguin in North America. The bird, named Best Friend, officially turned 40 on Wednesday, far surpassing the expected lifespan of 15 to 20 years for a macaroni penguin in the wild. SeaWorld said Best Friend, affectionately called the most precious old man at the park, suffers from failing eyesight but still has great hearing and can identify his keepers by their voices. His favorite daily activities include bubble blowing antics in his water tray, joyfully playing with trickling hoses, and letting out ecstatic calls when spoken to. And yes, he'll even curl up in a lap for a cozy nap when the mood strikes, the park said. And there's footage of it. Pennsylvania police pursue persistent pig pedestrian. Pigs are in the news this week. Authorities in Pennsylvania are hot on the trail of an unusual suspect wanting for evading police, a loose pig. Bethlehem Township Police said on social media that officers have been going hog wild trying to capture this little porker for the past few weeks. Police said the pig has become a local celebrity on social media, and some residents have reported feeding the slippery swine. The Post asked locals to report sightings of the pig so it can be apprehended before he runs in the street and breaks his little piggy. And our last story is about a kitten who got stuck in a dumpster. Kitten stuck in dumpster rescued using heavy machinery. Firefighters and veterinarians in Colorado teamed up to rescue a kitten, found with its head poking out through a small hole in a metal dumpster. The Padre Fire Authority and personnel from Colorado State University Veterinary Teaching Hospital responded when the kitten was found with its head stuck in the hole. Veterinarians sedated the kitten and the firefighters used heavy machinery normally used for vehicle extractions to expand the hole in the dumpster so the kitten could be rescued. The kitten was turned over to the NOCO Humane Shelter in Loveland. There you have it. Or Loveland. Loveland. All right. That is it. I am going to put some footage at the back. Not everybody has seen this footage. I posted it on Facebook. But it's Ronan at the fireplace. He can't figure out how the fire got in there. So I'll post that at the end. And maybe some other stuff. Who knows? As well as a picture of the Afghan on the bed. Promises from God's heart for his wisdom. This comes from God's promises from God's heart. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. James 1:5 NIV. To obey the Lord is the fundamental principle for wise living. All who carry out his precepts acquire good moral insight. He will receive praise forever. Psalm 111:10. For the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. He stores up success for the upright. He is a shield for those who live with integrity, so that he may guard the paths of justice and protect the way of his loyal followers. Proverbs 2:6-8. Because of God, you are in Christ Jesus, who has become for us wisdom from God. In Christ we are put right with God, and have been made holy, and have been set free from sin. 1 Corinthians 1:30. How wonderful to be wise, to understand things, to be able to analyze them and interpret them. Wisdom lights up a man's face, softening its hardness. Ecclesiastes 8:1. We have redemption in him through his blood, the forgiveness of our trespasses according to the riches of his grace, that he lavished on us with all wisdom and understanding. Ephesians 1 7 through 8. This also comes from the Lord of hosts. He gives wonderful advice. He gives great wisdom. Boy, does he. Isaiah 28:29. All the treasures of wisdom and knowledge are hidden in him. Colossians 2:3. For to the man who is pleasing in his sight, he gives wisdom, knowledge, and joy. Ecclesiastes 2:26. And that is it for this devotional. We will now move on to another devotional. Which one? I don't know. I have 2 over there. Probably 3. So I will choose another devotional and we'll start that next week. But in the meantime, everybody have a great week. Remember to be kind to one another. I'll see you again then. Bye.